Pomelo and Pomelo once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Today I'm back with fruit of the day, the one and only pomelo. So maybe you think this is a grapefruit. Maybe you think it's a large orange. Maybe you've never heard of it before. Maybe you eat them all day, every day. Well, whatever the case may be, please listen and watch on. Why? Because we're about to dive just a little deeper into the wonderful world of the pomelo. All right, first up, a little bit of background information. The pomelo fruit is a type of citrus fruit that is closely related to the grapefruit. Now, take a look at the picture. As you can see, the pomelo very closely resembles a grapefruit. Also known by its scientific name Citrus maxima or Citrus grandis, the pomelo tree is native to southern Asia and is considered the largest citrus fruit from the root family. So in other words, guys, the pomelo is basically the largest citrus fruit that you can find. So yes, it is larger than a lemon, larger than a lime, larger than an orange, larger than a tangerine, larger than a clementine, and definitely larger than a grapefruit. So there we have it, a little bit of background information about the one and only pomelo. All right, believe it or not, more background information. The skin of the fruit ranges in color from pale green to yellow, and the inside flesh can be either white, red, or pink. So take a look at the picture. As you can see, we have pink flesh, and then we also have white flesh. Interesting. Some of the most common varieties include honey, Chandler, Florida, Jaffa Red, Pomelo, and Rhine King. Interesting. Who knew there were so many different types of pomelos? Now, that brings me to a question. I wonder which variety is sold in my local grocery stores. All right, now it's time for a few fun facts. The pomelo taste is very similar to that of the grapefruit. However, the main difference between the flavor of the pomelo versus grapefruit is that the pomelo is much more mild and less bitter and tart. Although the fruit is referred to as pomelo in English, it's also known by a number of other names around the world. So, if you're ever in Hawaii, it's called jabong. If you're ever in South Asia, it's called jambola. And if you're ever in any other English-speaking country, I guess that would be outside of the USA, it would be considered a shadak. Interesting. So, once again, take a look at the picture. As you can see, we have several different citrus fruits. We have the pomelo, the largest. We have a grapefruit, the second largest. And then we have an orange, looks like a navel orange, a lime, and a lemon. So as it was stated in the previous slide, the pomelo is clearly the largest citrus fruit on planet Earth. So there we have it, guys. Some fun facts about the one and only pomelo. All right, now it's time for the not so fun facts. Although this delicious citrus fruit can be a great addition to the diet for most healthy adults, there are some who may need to exercise caution when consuming pomelo fruit. In particular, those with an allergy to citrus fruit should avoid pomelo, as it may trigger side effects like hives, itching, rashes, and digestive issues. If you experience these or any other side effects after consuming the fruit, discontinue use immediately and consult with your doctor. So, as you can clearly see, ladies and gentlemen, not everyone is, I guess, available or ready to consume pomelos. You may already experience a citrus fruit allergy. So if that's your situation, then you probably want to avoid pomelos. Why? Because chances are you'll have the same reaction, right? So, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't try it, right? But maybe in small bites and pieces. So, there we go, guys. The not so fun facts about the one and only pomelo. All right, more not so fun facts. Unfortunately, like grapefruit, it may also interfere with certain medications, including some types of statins. Now, for those of us who are unfamiliar with the term or medications statins, basically those types of medications are used to treat heart disease. Also, if you're taking any medications or may have any underlying health conditions, be sure to talk with your doctor before adding this pomelo to your diet. So there we have it, guys. If you have heart disease and you're taking medications such as statins or any type of medication that may be hindered by the consumption of citrus fruits, then please consult your doctor to find out whether or not you should add this particular citrus fruit to your daily diet. So there we have it, guys. A few more not so fun facts about the one and only pomelo. All right, it's time to dive into the 520 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, the 520 rule is all about food labels. That's right. It basically helps us to understand and read food labels. Ultimately, it's a guide. It's a guide that lets us know whether or not a food or beverage item is a good source or not a good source of any particular nutrient. Now, when we talk about the 520 rule, really what we're talking about is percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV. Now, let's take a look at our sample food label. As you can see, it is divided into three parts, three colored parts. We're going to focus on the purple portion, the yellow portion, and the light blue portion. So at this time, let's take it portion by portion. So when we talk about percent daily value, specifically the column, as you can see, it is represented as a percentage. Now, this is a scale. The scale can basically range as low as 0% to as high as 100%. Now, there are some cases where the percent DV may exceed 100%. However, it is rare. Now, when we talk about the yellow portion, we're talking about saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium. Unfortunately, these nutrients do a really good job at promoting sickness, illness, and disease within the body temple. So when it comes to percent DV, you want to make sure that the percent DV for these particular nutrients are as close to zero as possible. Next, when we talk about the light blue nutrients such as dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron, which basically represent all vitamins and minerals, these nutrients do just the opposite of the yellow nutrients. Rather than promote disease, sickness, and illness, they promote wellness and health within the body temple. So, whenever you're eating or drinking something, you definitely want to make sure that these percentages are as close to 100% as possible. Now, let's be a little more specific when we talk about the 520 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, if whatever we're consuming, food or beverage, offers anywhere from 0% to 9% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food or beverage item is not a good source of that particular nutrient. Next, if the food or beverage item offers 10% to 19% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food or beverage item is considered a good source of that particular nutrient. Lastly, if the food or beverage item offers 20% DV or greater, then that food or beverage item is considered an excellent source of that particular nutrient. So there we have it, guys, the ins and outs about the 520 rule. All right, so now that we've been exposed to the 520 rule, let's now dive into the nutrition facts. In other words, what are we putting in our bodies once we eat a pomelo? Well, for today's lecture, we're going to say that a single serving of pomelo is one peeled pomelo fruit. So, in a whole pomelo, we're going to get 231 calories, 58.5 grams of carbs. Look at this, 4.5 grams of protein. And still, most people think fruit doesn't contain protein. Well, guys, I'm here to let you know that it actually does. Next, we're going to get 0.2 grams of fat and a whopping 6 grams of dietary fiber. Amazing. Now, vitamin C. Look at this, guys. Take a look. 412% DV. Now, that is a super duper excellent source of vitamin C. Now, what does this really mean? What it means is that a single pomelo fruit will actually provide your body with 4 days worth of vitamin C. Amazing, right? Next up is copper, coming in at 32% DV. Excellent source. Then we have potassium coming in at 28% DV. Excellent source. Thiamine coming in at 17% DV. Good source. Vitamin B6 coming in at 13% DV. Good source. Riboflavin coming in at 13% DV, good source. Then we have magnesium coming in at 9% DV, not a good source. Phosphorus coming in at only 8% DV, not a good source. And lastly is niacin coming in at only 8% DV, not a good source. So there we have it, 23% Nation, the nutrition facts about the one and only pomelo. All right, now it's time to dive into the health benefits. But before we do, I want to talk about the principle of cause and effect. Now, some of us may already be familiar with this principle. Why? Because it's one of the 7 Hermetic principles. It basically states that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. There really is no such thing as chance and or luck. In other words, everything happens for a reason. That being said, I want to offer you the 7 health benefits of the pomelo, but then I also want to let you know which phytonutrients are responsible for these effects, right? So, benefit or effect number 1 is that it boosts immune function. Now, the question is, which phytonutrient causes this? Well, say hello to vitamin C, and of course, we cannot forget about the antioxidants. Benefit number 2, it supports digestive health. Amazing. So we can thank fiber for that. Benefit number 3, it protects against chronic disease. Now, there are 2 phytonutrients that are responsible for this. Say hello to naringin and naringinin. All right, benefit number 4, it reduces cholesterol levels. Well, say hello to fiber once again. Benefit number 5, it may help fight cancer cell growth. Now, the question is, which phytonutrients cause this? Well, say hello to antioxidants and polyphenols. Benefit number 6, it slows signs of aging. So I guess the pomelo is technically the fountain of youth. So now the question is, which phytonutrients are responsible? Well, say hello to vitamin C and antioxidants. And benefit number 7 is that it contains antimicrobial properties. Now, for those of us who don't really understand what that means, in other words, it helps prevent bacterial and fungal infections. That's right. It may be even viral infections. So the question is, which phytonutrients cause this? Well, it's the unsaturated fatty acids. So there we have it, guys. 7 amazing health benefits from the one and only pomelo. All right, it's time to talk about food. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today I want to introduce you to a brand new website. Now, normally our go-to website for everything vegan is forksoverknives.com, but for today I thought I'd switch it up just a little bit and introduce you to yumly.com. Now, as usual, I went to the website, did my research, and I came across 2 amazing vegan pomelo recipes that I want to share with you right now. So the first one is pomelo quinoa salad with cilantro sauce. Take a look at the picture. Looks amazing. And the second recipe is Brussels sprouts and pomelo. Take a look at that picture. Looks delicious, yes. Now, if you are inclined to make either one of these recipes, then all you have to do is click on the description box. Why? Because I'm providing you with a direct link to each recipe. Now, when you click on the link, you're going to find some amazing information. You're going to find an ingredient list, you're going to find cooking time, and of course, the ingredients and instructions, obviously. So, do me a favor. Make them, taste them, come back to the video, and share your thoughts. So there we have it, guys. Not 1, but 2 vegan pomelo recipes from yumly.com. All right, 23% Nation, I hear you. A lot of you say, well, Coach D, thanks for the fun facts and the not so fun facts and the nutrition facts and for the recipes. But what I really want to know is, when should I eat more pomelos? Well, guys, if that's your question, then the perfect day, and I do mean the perfect day to eat more pomelos, is Nature Day. What? Nature Day? Oh yes, good old Nature Day. Guys, Nature Day happens to be the first day of the 23% challenge. Now, maybe you've been living under a rock lately and you know absolutely nothing about the challenge. Well, in a nutshell, the 23% challenge is a monthly 7-day wellness program that is designed to help improve your health, your wealth, your relationships, and it also helps to save good old planet Earth. Now, here's the thing about the challenge, is that number 1, It's monthly, meaning every month, January through December, and it's only 7 days. As a matter of fact, it's the first 7 days of every single month, the first all the way through the 7th. Now, that being said, being that Nature Day is the first day of the challenge, that simply means that Nature Day is the first day of every month. So, whether it's February 1st, June 1st, or even August 1st, it's always Nature Day. Okay, so maybe now you're a little more intrigued. Maybe you want to know more about Nature Day, right? Well, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Nature Day is all about eating more plants and drinking water. So, maybe you are interested in eating more plants, right? Well, here we go. I do understand that most people are addicted to the standard American diet, and that's okay. So you may want to take baby steps when attempting to eat more plants. So if that's you, then maybe eat more plants before 12 p.m. Thereafter, you can do whatever you want. Or maybe you want to flip it and only eat more plants after 12 p.m. And before that, you can do whatever you want to do. Now, there are some of us who may want to up the ante just a little bit. So you may want to try to become a 3% vegan. Now, what is that? Well, it's anyone, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 1 day out of an entire month. You can pick that day. Next up is a 10% vegan. That's anyone, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 3 days out of an entire month. Next up is a 17% vegan. Now, that's any person who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 5 days out of an entire month. And lastly is the ultimate, the 23% vegan. Now, technically, that's what Coach D considers himself to be. So now the question is, what do I eat for the first 7 days of every month? Well, guys, I only eat from the 5 food groups of plant foods, which happen to be fruits, vegetables and herbs, nuts and seeds, legumes, meaning beans and peas, and whole grains. And yes, I only drink water. So there we have it, guys, a little more information about Nature Day. All right, so now that we know a little more about Nature Day, a lot of us may wonder, well, what type of person should participate in Nature Day? What type of person should eat more plants? Well, guys, maybe you have the big 4, right? So what are the big 4? Well, say hello to heart disease, obesity, cancer, and of course type 2 diabetes. And maybe you're looking for a holistic, natural way to treat your illnesses. Well, maybe you have skin issues such as acne, eczema, psoriasis, pimples. And maybe once again, you're looking for a holistic way to treat your skin issues. Well, it's easy. Eat more plants. Maybe you have digestive issues such as Crohn's disease. Maybe irritable bowel syndrome, or maybe you're constipated all the time. It's easy. Eat more plants. Maybe you have mental issues such as depression. Maybe you're angry all the time, or maybe you're just really sad all the time, or maybe you just can't concentrate. Guys, you're looking for a holistic way to treat your illness or issues? It's easy. Eat more plants. Maybe you're looking to lose body fat. Maybe you're looking to build muscle. It's easy. Get on the vegan lean or the vegan bulk program. Next up, maybe you're looking to transition from the standard American diet to a whole food plant-based diet. It's easy. Eat more plants. And lastly, maybe you're just interested in eating more plants. Well, then you definitely want to participate in Nature Day. So there we have it, guys. We now know exactly who Nature Day is for. All right. Now, because I want your Nature Day to be successful, I want to offer you Coach D's tips. So here we go. Tip number 1, go to your local grocery store. Now, when you get there, you're going to go to 3 places. Number 1 is the produce section. Number 2 is the freezer aisle. And number 3 is the canned good aisle. Now, why the freezer aisle? Well, because that's where you're going to find all of your frozen plant foods. Why the produce section? Well, that's where you're going to find all of your fresh plant foods. And why the canned good aisle? Well, that's where you're going to find all of your canned plant foods. Now, a lot of people may wonder, what's best, fresh, frozen, or canned? Well, if I have to answer that question, I'll put it to you like this. The best is fresh. The second best is frozen. I would say they're very close, 1 and 2. And the third, and you probably definitely want to stay away, and this should always be your last option, is canned. Why? Because canned items contain additives, preservatives, and a whole bunch of other stuff that your body really can do without. Tip number 2, go to the prepared dishes section of your local grocery store. So, once you're done with the produce section, the freezer aisle, and the canned good aisle, walk on over to the prepared dishes section. Now, here's the good part, is that when you get over there, talk to the person behind the counter and ask them if they have any vegan, not vegetarian options. Why? Because there is a difference between eating vegan versus eating vegetarian. I'll talk more about the details later. But for now, ask the person behind the counter for a sample. Don't worry, it's free. And providing you like it, go ahead and get it by the pound, or maybe even 2, maybe even 3 pounds if you really, really, really like it. Tip number 3, go visit your local farmer's market to purchase your plant foods. Now, here's the thing about farmers markets, is that they cater to the organic plant food market, right? So if you're the type of person who has to have organic this and organic that, non-GMO this and non-GMO that, then the farmers market is definitely the place to be. Tip number 4, it's time to visit your local vegan restaurant. Now, some people may not even know vegan restaurants exist. Guys, Coach D is here to let you know that they actually do. That's right. Now, there are really 2 things that you need to know about vegan restaurants. Number 1, they hire vegan chefs. Number 2, these chefs know exactly how to cook plant foods, and they also know which plant foods to combine to yield the most nutritious, delicious dishes. So please, support your local vegan restaurant. Tip number 5 is to get a subscription to a vegan meal prep company. That's right. Now, here's the thing about these vegan meal prep companies, is that number 1, they cook the food. Number 2, they deliver the food. Number 3, you eat the food. It's just that simple. So there you have it, guys. 5 amazing tips to help make your nature day successful. All right, it's time for our question of the day, which comes from yours truly and the rest of the 23% nation. We have inquiry minds. So we want to know, the pomelo fruit is a type of citrus fruit that is closely related to the blank. So yes, this is a fill-in-the-blank question, which I covered earlier in the lecture. So if you didn't quite get it, or if you tuned me out, simply rewind. Okay? And of course, type your answer in the comment box below. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. Now, before I sign out, I got to ask you to please subscribe, like, and of course, share the video, especially if you love pomelos. And don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's #EatMorePlants. As stated earlier, my name is Coach D. I'm signing out. Always remember to take care, God bless, and never ever forget that Coach D loves you.